Have you ever stopped and asked yourself why certain people, once so close to your heart, suddenly drift out of your life? Why relationships you prayed for, fought for, and tried to protect seem to unravel no matter how much effort you put in? For many people, this moment feels like rejection. It feels personal. It feels like failure. But Scripture invites us to see this pain differently. Very often, it is not rejection at all. It is God's redirection. The Bible consistently shows that God does not merely guide us through open doors, but also through closed ones. Loss, distance, and separation are not always signs that something went wrong. Sometimes they are signs that God is intervening. When people leave, when connections break, when closeness dissolves, the human instinct is to ask, "What did I do wrong?" But the spiritual question is different. It is, what is God protecting me from? Or, where is God redirecting me? Painful experiences are not meaningless in God's economy. They are often instruments of alignment. Amos 3:3 asks a simple but piercing question. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? This verse reframes separation not as abandonment, but as misalignment. And misalignment in Scripture is not something God ignores. It is something He corrects. If you are in a season where people are leaving, where relationships are collapsing, where doors you desperately wanted open are shutting anyway, this does not mean you are unloved, unworthy, or forgotten. It may mean God is actively involved in your story. The pain you feel is real, but the meaning behind it is not what your fear tells you. The Bible repeatedly reminds us that God's removals are never random. They are intentional, protective, and purposeful. What looks like loss to you may be God preventing a future wound you cannot yet see. What feels like emptiness may be God making space. This is not about blame. This is about trust. Trusting that God's hand is still present even when people's hands are no longer holding yours. The first sign that God may be removing someone from your life is that their presence consistently pulls you away from Him rather than closer to Him. This does not always happen in obvious or dramatic ways. Sometimes it is subtle. Conversations that slowly normalize compromise, habits that quietly replace prayer, influences that make obedience feel optional instead of essential. Scripture is clear that relationships are meant to sharpen faith, not dull it. Amos 3:3 reminds us again that agreement is foundational for walking together. When someone's influence consistently weakens your spiritual clarity, distracts you from God's voice, or pulls you into patterns that distance you from obedience, that is not something God overlooks. It is not that the other person is evil, and it is not that you are weak. It is that alignment matters to God more than attachment. The second sign is when a relationship produces more chaos than peace. God is described in Scripture as a God of peace, not confusion. When emotional turmoil, constant tension, manipulation, or instability become the defining features of a connection, it signals something deeper than personality conflict. Peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of order and safety. When peace is consistently absent, God may be intervening not to punish you, but to protect you. The third sign is perhaps the most difficult to accept. God repeatedly closes the door no matter how hard you try to keep it open. Revelation 3:7 states, "What He opens, no one can shut, and what He shuts, no one can open." This verse shifts responsibility away from your effort and places it squarely in God's authority. Calls go unanswered. Reconciliation attempts fail. Trust erodes beyond repair. Every attempt to fix the relationship results in another breakdown. This is not always the work of the enemy. Sometimes it is divine intervention. God sees what you cannot see. He knows where that path leads. And when He closes a door, it is not because you are unworthy to walk through it, but because walking through it would have cost you something precious later. Closed doors are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of guidance. As these signs unfold, Scripture invites you into a posture of surrender rather than resistance. When God removes people from your life, it is not because you failed the relationship. Separation is not spiritual defeat. Loss is not evidence that Satan won. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall make your paths straight." This passage is not a command to suppress pain. It is an invitation to release control. Painful experiences often tempt us to replay events, analyze our mistakes, and carry unnecessary guilt. But the Bible reframes these moments as transitions, not verdicts. God's removals are often preparations. When he closes a door, he is not leaving you stranded in a hallway forever. He is redirecting your steps towards something aligned with your calling, your capacity, and your future. The message is not that you were not enough. The message is that they could not go where God is taking you. Letting go does not mean you stop loving. It means you stop resisting God's protection. When you trust his hand, you are not losing something good. You are making room for something better, healthier, and divinely aligned. What feels like loss now may later reveal itself as mercy. What feels like rejection may one day be understood as redirection. And when that understanding arrives, you will see that God was not removing love from your life. He was removing what could not stay without costing you peace, faith, and purpose.